When I was 10 years old, I had this experience. One night I woke up and needed to go to the bathroom. When I went back to bed, I left the door open. We had a bathroom that led directly to the kitchen, and the door led to the kitchen. I came back when I was already falling asleep. I looked into the kitchen and there was a green figure in the house. It had deformed hands. It was indescribable. It stopped there quickly, after about 2 seconds, but I can't even really describe it. Then I hid under the covers and my thoughts were, what is it? Can it abduct us? Is it bad? Is it an alien? But then I somehow fell asleep. I don't know how. I woke up in the morning, normal, and the figure was gone. The interesting thing is that I still remember it to this day. I don't know if it was stress, something supernatural, or something else. So this was when I was around 10 or 11 years old. We had rented a new house. This house had a basement with bedrooms, a bathroom, and a door that led outside in one of the rooms. This will be important for later. Our new house was pretty nice, except the old owners took an axe to the wall, punched through the drywall, and all that stuff. We patched it up, don't worry. But they also left alcohol, cards, paper, and some other stuff in the oven. I think they were trying to make it so we might burn the house down. Anyway, now that we know that they were kinda crazy, this is where the basement door comes into the story. The basement door didn't have a lock on it, and it had a broken window we didn't get around to fixing at the time, because we were busy. One day, a week or two after renting it, we went downstairs into the basement and found the door slightly opened and a knife on the floor by the door. We still live in this house, and since it had ghosts and mimics, those are for another story though, we didn't know if someone had placed it there to threaten us or if it was a ghost. We didn't own that knife though. I don't know how old I was. I probably think I was in diapers at this time. But there were two incidents. I called one the brown house incident and the other the blue house incident. I don't remember where the houses were at or anything else. When I was a child, I remember being wrapped up in my Spider-Man blanket. And I remember crying and screaming in the bathroom I was in. I remember this weird tall figure with no face. It looked like it was burnt. And the weird thing was, I remember the skin like red mixed with orange and yellow, like burns and shit. And I remember it choking me. The other incident that happened when I was a kid was in the blue house, and I remember my uncle telling me in the basement, do not open the bedroom door to this room. He went upstairs and I remember opening it, and this weird shadow figure with horns, slowly walking up to me. I remember slamming my uncle's bedroom door and running back upstairs screaming, there's a monster in your room, to my uncle. I don't know if there were real monsters, demons, or something, or if I was imagining shit, but all I remember was I was a kid and I was very scared. I was about 5 or 6 years old. This was around 2018 or 2019. My cousin, let's call him Maverick, and I were playing hide and seek in a brick field near where we lived. Huge stacks of bricks, workers everywhere, dust in the air. I was the seeker. I counted, and Maverick ran off to hide. When I finished, I found him pretty quickly behind a brick wall. He said he was thirsty and told me to wait while he went to get water, so I waited. I didn't realize how much time had passed. Back then I was a dumb, calm kid. Even when something felt wrong, I never took it seriously. After what was probably 2 hours, I got annoyed and decided to look for him myself. I asked the workers if they'd seen him. They all said no. Slowly the place started emptying out. The sun was going down. One by one the workers left. Suddenly the brick field felt huge and quiet. Then I heard growling. At first it was far away, like wolves, somewhere in the distance. Then it sounded closer. My stomach felt tight, but I still didn't cry or run. I just stood there, not fully understanding how bad the situation was. That's when two men showed up. They looked completely normal, calm, friendly. They said they'd help me get out. I don't even remember questioning them. I just trusted them. There was a bicycle nearby. I sat on the seat while they walked beside it, guiding me towards the exit. While moving, something made me look down. Their feet weren't touching the ground. No toes, no soles, just legs, floating slightly above the dirt. I panicked inside, but I forced myself to stay calm. I told myself I was just tired, that I hadn't had water, that my brain was making things up. When we reached the exit, I saw my mom running towards me. She looked scared. She hugged me immediately and asked if I was okay, where I'd been, and who helped me get out. I turned around to show her the two men. They were gone. Just gone. Later, I found out Maverick had gone home and told everyone nothing. Instead of getting in trouble, he was praised and kissed by his grandmother, while no one really understood that I had been missing for 2 hours. I still don't know what those two men were, but I remember one thing clearly. They helped me leave, and their feet never touched the ground. I, an 18-year-old female, am into all of that crystal and tarot type of practices. I used to be way more into it when I was younger, and now that it's been a few years of not being into it, I want to start doing tarot and using my crystals more. One of the very first times I was doing one of those practices was when I was Black Mirror Scrying. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's when you use a black obsidian crystal as a mirror. It's very similar to reading a crystal ball. I was about 13 to 15 when I tried this. I read my spell book on how to do it, setting up a few candles and setting up some crystals too. I even made sure to set up a circle of protection to keep evil entities out. Just typing this out makes me feel like I'm one of those crazy witch girlies. I'm not. Well, to an extent I am. Anyway, once I was ready to look into the black obsidian crystal my mom lent me to use as my black mirror, I got in the zone. I was really excited at first because I really felt like I did things right, and I started to see things. Looking back, I can't remember what I saw, but it was cool. Until I saw this white-faced figure loom over me in the reflection of the mirror. Kind of reminded me of Slender Man. I've never seen the movie though before this. Just typing it out brings me back to the same anxiety I felt then. I'm not sure how long I sat there in shock, but after about 2 to 3 minutes of sitting in shock, I run out. Without opening and shutting my circle of protection, I go tell my parents what I saw. My parents just told me I was okay and they would sage my room. They never did after I told them that, but they have cleansed it since. I don't know what it could be. And I want to try to Black Mirror Scrying again because crystal ball reading just doesn't really work for me. But seeing that thing again is a big no. And all of my friends think it was just my imagination, but I know what I saw and felt. So yeah, just thought I'd get some strangers' perspectives on what this could be, or if it really was just my imagination. This is a long one, so strap on in. Around 5 to 6 months ago, me and some friends got the bright idea of exploring some abandoned places around our town. It is pretty small, so nothing more than a few farmhouses and collapsed barns, but nonetheless, we were committed to it. One day on my way to work, I saw an old gas station I'd never noticed before. It was pretty rotten and worn looking, so I thought it would be perfect to check out. A couple days later, me and my 3 friends set out to check this place out. We went in the evening around 7 o'clock, and we were able to get in through a broken window, leading to some type of basement. We were in there for less than 5 minutes when we could audibly hear loud footsteps upstairs, and it kind of freaked us out. We thought of checking it out, but opted to just go home. Not even a month later, I see a news article about a man rescued from the same gas station. Apparently 5 dudes had tied him up and were torturing him for multiple days before one of them was seen exiting the same window we came in from. Anyway, I was mortified to learn this and since have never stepped foot in any type of abandoned building.